Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of my CRPS awareness challenge. Firstly, I want to start off by thanking everyone for your incredible support. I was actually overwhelmed by the amount of positive responses that my first video got, and that my message is being shared. So thank you to all my incredible family and friends. This really does mean a lot to me. And I'm really excited to continue this journey at this point. So yesterday I spoke a little bit about who I am, what my 10-year experience has been with chronic pain and autoimmunity, and a little bit about what I want to do in these next 30 days. And for this next week in specific, I really want to focus on that time where you are just diagnosed, because just before the diagnosis and just after the diagnosis, it is a core shift in every single dynamic you have around you, and it's an exhausting one, because besides the fact that no one else really knows what's going on, you yourself don't know what you're really feeling. You know you're tired, you know you're sore, you know you're over it, and that's about it. Today in particular, I want to focus on the one sentence that we all hear at one point with our chronic pain, and that we all really need to work through, and that is the minute you get told it's all in your head. And that's something, if you haven't been told that sentence as a chronic pain or autoimmune sufferer, if that is a sentence you haven't heard, I want you to call me like as soon as you hear this, because you will be the first person that I will be able to interview or talk to that has not heard the phrase, it's all in your head. Because when there is absolutely no physical evidence of your pain, there is no reason for someone to believe there's anything wrong. Even after my diagnosis, I was approached by so many people saying, but pain is a mental thing. It's not something you feel. And boy, oh boy, does that rev up your anger, hey? Pain is definitely real. And right now, if you are trying to get through a diagnosis and you're hearing this, I want you to know that your pain is real. It is 100% real. And at no point throughout your illness from this day on do you ever feel you have to justify this to anyone. You know it's real, and the people around you who love you and support you will learn about what you have and learn to accept it. It's not going to be easy, and tomorrow I'm going to be talking about dealing with family, where I'll approach this in a lot more detail. But for now, this segment is on mentally working with yourself before we approach anybody else on this topic. If you are new to this whole pain thing and how it works, it's really scary. And the main reason why it's scary is not so much because you're in pain, it's because you don't understand why that pain is there. And this has a lot to do with why I've called my brand and my blog The Discerning You. Because it wasn't just keeping positive that has helped me through these last 10 years. What's actually helped me is learning, and learning in a discerning way. And that rhymes. But it's true, because if you can take a subject and research it, explore it, understand it better for yourself, all of a sudden this doesn't get so scary. Now, what I mean by this is finding the right people and sources to talk to. What I don't mean by this is Google. And the biggest problem with Google is that it's providing you information as you would read it in a textbook, really. It's not actually speaking to you as someone who's trying to cope with this. So what I recommend every person start with is a specialist that you know is really there to help you. And a couple of things to look out for if you're trying to evaluate whether that is it's a good specialist or not. Start by seeing their basic gestures when they're talking to you. Are they smiling? Are they asking you a little bit more about how you're feeling, and not just physically, emotionally? The second thing to look at is how caring are they after they put you on medication or try to give you a therapy to try out. So what you want to see is that you have access to their private number, or just something where you know you feel safe to call them and ask them anything. And what you need to then do from there is initiate a relationship where you say to them, I want to learn about what I have. So what that then means is you need to take photos of any new symptoms you're experiencing, write it down, keep your pain levels kind of monitored. Everything that changes, you need to document, because once you can do that, you can put a portfolio together for your doctor and start to ask them what is really happening to you, because then it becomes more understandable on an everyday basis. So when you get a funny rash and you take a photograph and you show that to your doctor will say, okay, well, this is why you got this rash, this is why it hurts. And it slowly starts to become so much more understandable as an illness than, just Googling it online. So this is something that's really important to get right. So when people come back to you, you don't feel the need to kind of justify yourself in a way that you don't know how, because you don't actually know what's wrong. If you actually know what's wrong and you're starting to develop that dynamic with a professional where they are educating you slowly but surely, you no longer feel scared. And when you stop feeling scared, you stop feeling the need to defend yourself to everyone, okay? And that is something really, really important. And this stands the ground for everything going forward that we're going to talk about. It stands for, as I said, what the discerning you is about. It's all about your ability to take in information, do it in an intelligent way, so that you can then become in charge of your own body. Because if we look at the facts, people are still trying to research and understand chronic pain and autoimmunity. It's not like a fine science yet. The more we can as patients contribute to medical professionals' understanding of this, the better. I'm not saying we know more, but I'm saying that we're living it. So we actually have a duty to share everything that's happening to us with them, and using that as the basis, because that really does lay the foundation of changing this mentality and stopping people from, when they are diagnosed, to thinking that they have actually lost their minds. Because I thought I'd lost my mind. I had 2 mental breakdowns before my diagnosis, severe mental breakdowns, because I was in agony, I couldn't walk, and I didn't know why. And that is enough when you are now made completely incapacitated. That is enough to scare the crap out of you. So this is something we need to stop. So if you are starting out with a diagnosis, this is the action you need to take. If you are in the middle of trying to understand your condition, this is the new approach that I really recommend you try with your professional. And if you've had this condition for a long time, then this is something I really, really hope you can advocate to anybody else you meet out there to try, because it is worth it. And once you can start to get this dynamic right, and we will speak about it more, everything else falls into place a lot easier. So what I want you to take from today's vlog is that I know you're not crazy. I know this is not just in your head, and I know how scared you are. And your first duty is to yourself right now. It's to no one else. So next time you feel the need to fight with someone about how you're feeling and justify it, stop, breathe, and start looking at yourself. Get a diary. Start writing down everything you're feeling. Document your pain. Document every experience, and stop thinking that whatever symptom you have, it's nothing or it's weird. Stop it. Just take it for what it is. If you see that your, I don't know, pinky toenail is growing funny, write it down. Just write it down, because you don't actually know why it's happening. And the more you can understand, the better. So start by documenting everything you're doing. Do it in an honest way for yourself. And it's your job to start initiating that relationship with your doctor, so that the whole pattern can change. And if you can approach the people around you with a better understanding and more security within yourself, you stop the "but you don't look sick, it's all in your head, just be positive" cycle that becomes toxic. Hope you've enjoyed today's vlog, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comment box below, please, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, where I talk about family and dealing with family after a diagnosis. Thanks guys, good night.